Alright, so we want to have this base URL and then templates, and we'll copy that and put that right here. Alright, and then we also need to include our CK editor JavaScript. So I'm going to copy this, and it should be in JavaScript, and then actually I'm not even sure if we have it. Templates, we don't even have our JavaScript folder. So let's do that. In the templates directory, create a JS folder and go back to the HTML that we created, the HTML template, and in the JavaScript folder we want to copy these two files over. Okay, and then here in the top, the second one is going to go to, is it CK editor? Yeah. CK editor slash CK editor.js. Alright, and that should do it for us. Alright, so now we have an editor, which is good. So we can see, I'm going to close the header and footer out and open up the create, first the create .php that's in our root, and then also the template create. And we can see that the form is not going anywhere, so we just got to add to that. We'll add the method will be post, and the action is going to be create.php. Alright, so we have a title. Make sure your fields have a name. Okay, select. Doesn't look like this one has a name for the select field. This should be category. So we want to say name equals category. And then the body has a name of body, which is fine. And then the button, the submit button, doesn't have a name, so we need to add one. And let's just call this one do create, because we need to check in our other create.php file, we need to check and see if this do create was clicked. Okay, so we can save that. And actually, one more thing, these categories are static. We need to pull these from the database. So let's see, we should be able to use the same type of loop that we used in the footer, in the sidebar, which is this here, this get categories. So I'm going to copy that from the footer and put it right after the select. Alright, and what we want to happen is we want option and then value. We want the value to equal PHP echo category ID. Okay, so that should be the value, and then for the actual text we want the category name. Category, is it name or title? I can't remember. Let me check real quick. Alright, so we want categories. Okay, so it's name. Alright, and then we can get rid of these static options. And that should pull the categories from the database, hopefully. So we'll go back and reload. And it looks like something went wrong here. Let's check out the source. Failed to open stream, no such. Oh, you know what? We need to just create a topic object. in create. Alright, so we'll say topic equals new topic. Alright, so now we have our categories. So now that the form is all set, we can go back to category.php in your root, and we need to set up for, we need to see if that do create button is clicked. Alright, so we're going to do that right here. Let's see, we want to say if is set post do create. Okay, so basically if that button is pressed, what do we want to do? I'm going to paste in basically all the post fields and then some. Alright, so basically we're creating a data array. We have the title, which is coming from the form, from the post. Actually, slug we're not using. Let me just get rid of that. Body is coming from the post. Category ID coming from the select form. User ID is coming from our get user function, which basically just gets the logged in user's information, and we're saying that we want to get the user ID. And then the last activity is just going to be the current date and time. Alright, so we want to use the validation class with this. So what I'm going to do is create a new validator object right here. Alright, so then we can validate this data. Let's put in our required fields, which is going to be the title, the body, and the category. And then basically we're going to run the isRequired method from the validate class, pass it our array, and then if that passes, we're going to say if topic create, then redirect with a success message if it's created, or redirect with an error message if it's not created. Okay, so save that, and now we need to go to our user. I'm sorry, not our user, our topic class. So libraries topic, and go all the way to the bottom, and we're going to paste in the create function, okay, which we pass the data to. And then same as the others, we're just creating an insert query, okay, with all the fields, and some of these we don't need. Let me just check real quick these fields we have. Yeah, we don't need the view count, so let's just get rid of that. Okay, so slug we don't need either. Alright, so we're binding values here from the data array, and then we're executing and returning true if everything goes well. So let's save that, and let's see if we can do a reply. Okay, so let's go to, we're logged in as Brad T, so I'm going to go to JDOS post. Actually, no, what are we doing? We need to create a topic. We'll do the reply after. Alright, so let's say this is a test. We'll choose web design. We'll say hello, this is a test. Submit. Your topic has been posted. There it is, right at the top. Alright, so that's working perfectly. I love when that happens. Alright, so now that we can create a topic, we want to reply to one. Okay, so if we go to JDoe's post and we have something to say, we want to reply. So the first thing I want to do is make it so this doesn't display unless you're logged in. Alright, so let's log out first. Okay, so we shouldn't be able to see this. So let's go to the template. It's topic. Alright, so here's the reply form. And we got a few things to do here as well. So first let's make this form so it works. Give it a method of post and action. Okay, so action is going to go to topic. Yeah, topic.php, but we want it to go to the current topic. So we need to tack on ID equals topic ID. Alright, and then we only want it to show if the user's logged in. So right under the header, the H3 tag, we'll say if is logged in. We'll show the form. And if not, then let's just put in a paragraph. Please log in to reply. Okay, so if we save that, reload, you can see that now the form is gone and it's telling us to log in. Alright, so let's log in. And go to JDoe's post. Okay, the form is back. So what we need to do now is just go to topic, and we need to just paste in. Actually, let's see what the button in the reply form. Our button needs a name. So let's just call that do reply. Okay, and then on the topic page. Alright, so basically we're going to check to see if do reply is clicked. If it is, we're going to get our data. The topic ID is going to come from the URL, so from the get variable. The body is going to come from the post that we type, and the reply form that we fill out. And then the user ID is going to come from the get user function, helper function. And then we're going to create a new validator object. Body is the only field, so obviously that's the only required field. As long as they fill that out, it'll go to topic reply, which we have to create, and then it'll just redirect depending if it's if it goes well or not. So the last thing we need to do is go to the topic class and just create the reply method, which is pretty easy. Basically, we're just doing an insert. Okay, and this is going into the replies table. We're binding the values just like we've been doing, and then we execute it. Alright, so if we save that, let's just say great post, submit. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's showing. Let's see if it went into the database. No, it didn't. Huh. Alright, looks like we might have to do a little bit of debugging Unless, did I not save something? So let's just make sure that it's do reply. We'll say echo replied, and then we'll die. Okay, so it's going through correctly. Let's try and let's see if we can get these fields. Okay, undefined index body. Data body's coming from the post, which comes from this form, text area. Oh, there's our problem. This has the name reply. This should be body. Alright, so that should be that problem, hopefully. Get rid of that. Alright, so let's try this again. Let's go to John's post. Say this is, actually we'll just say great post, submit, and there's our reply, and it should show up here as well. Alright, and since we're using the editor, it wrapped our text in P tags. Alright, so that, I think that's everything. See, Brad's posts, John's posts. Alright, so everything seems to be working perfectly. Log out. So there is our application. Alright, so in this project we are going to be building a very simple PayPal shopping cart. Well, I should say very simple, but minimal bells and whistles. Basically, I want to get you familiar with the CodeIgniter framework. That's what we'll be using here. And CodeIgniter is an MVC framework. And if you don't know what MVC is, it stands for Model View Controller. And it's actually kind of hard to explain, but it's basically a design pattern where your controller is basically the entry point for your application. The last project that we did, the Talking Space forum, was almost like an MVC framework because we had an entry file like topic.php. And then from that we went to a library to use the database class and pull in information or even insert information into the database. And that's what a model does. Okay, a model deals with data, usually in a database but not always. And then a view is